Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Ethereum. Wanted to do an update. Wanted to slightly warn you for a couple of things in this video, but we'll do a full technical analysis. I don't think we need to go in depth about the fundamentals too much right here. The fundamentals are not great. I mean, if you take a look at ETH BTC, that has continued to trend down, and unfortunately, there's no real support inside yet, or at least we thought we had some major supports at some point of time, but as you can see right here, this has just been in a massive downtrend, basically since September 2022, and the sentiment around Ethereum is also still very, very bearish. It's just not great, and I might make a video specifically about this soon, talking about just in general the state that Ethereum is in and the image that it has, right? Because Ethereum always used to have the image of being one of the safe coins to actually accumulate. And I think to a very high extent, it has lost that image, which is obviously not great. But that's too much to talk about in a video like this. And I wanted to focus on the technicals here. Because the technicals matter, and the technicals are not great for Ethereum right here. I'll just be completely transparent about that. We will talk about some levels where I would buy XRP and where I would buy Ethereum, and where I do think it's somewhat more of an opportunity. However, that's not right here, because what you can see, and we've talked about this in my last video as well, with all the bearish pressure we had on Sunday and Monday. So we're looking at the 12-hour time frame right here for Ethereum. With all that bearish pressure, we push down below a key level, all right? And that is this level right here, between ultimately 1600 and 1550. It's a bit of a bigger level. It's a high volume node. So historically at this level, there was a lot of liquidity, there was a lot of volume. So that's normally great, but when it's not great is when you drop down below that and you're unable to reclaim that level, all right? Because what's happening right now for Ethereum is that technically you can see we dropped down below that level. We tried to reclaim it right here, but we were unable to do so. And what happens then is that the price starts accepting below that high volume node, which you can even see right here, right? That is actually a high volume node, even with all the volume we spent there in the last couple of days. And what starts to happen, at least usually, is that the price accepts below that balance, which is what you usually call those high volume nodes, and it starts to look for a balance down lower. And for that, we can actually zoom all the way out, because then we have to look at the price action in 2022 and 2023. And what you can see right here to the left, or at least I hope you can see that. It's well, if I do it like this, I think you can. Yeah, so what you can see is a high volume node right here, as we spoke about in this video, around 1600. And then the next high volume node is between 1300 and 1200, with the support, as you can see, also with a slight high volume node right here at 1100. All right, so that's a pretty big drop from where we are right now. Now, the good part is, I think that's a great support. All right, that's basically the bear market support that we are at then, or at least the previous bear market support. So I do think that there's enough positive sentiment left to buy up Ethereum right now. I think a lot of people are also not expecting that much of a drop again after all the bearish pressure that we have seen. But that is ultimately what looks most likely right now, all right? Because Ethereum is finding balance under that high volume node. There's no sign of enough strength to reclaim that, because that is ultimately what we have to do. Maybe, and obviously Ethereum still depends a lot on the fundamentals. Maybe if we get some major positive news regarding the trade deal, then we can do this, all right? So that would be the best case scenario, and then at least we can find support on top of 1600. But as it stands right now, and as the fundamentals are right now, which are bearish and uncertain, I would have to say it's most likely that we will remain bearish, and that we will drop down into that level around 1200, and that is where I think the best buying is done, and that's also where I will buy Ethereum, not for the long term, but a long trade for sure. Those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. I think that's a good overview of what's most likely right now, what can happen, and just in general what you need to know. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.